What's up, Ragin Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex. You watching the Ragin Ronin review, and it is time for another review. I got a review for you guys, and it is for Jack Reacher, which is Tom Cruise's latest film. And this movie is actually based off a novel called One Shot. I think it's called One Shot, One Kill. But anyways, I don't know anything about the novel, but that's what the movie's based off of. And when I saw the trailer for this movie, they marketed this movie as an actioner, like an action movie, like with a lot of action. But it's not really what you'd expect. In fact, this movie kind of plays out more like a mystery than an action movie. It's a mystery movie with action in it. That's the best way to describe it. Because it's kind of like a whodunit kind of movie. And the story is really trying to figure out who shot who and what's behind the motive and what's the bigger picture of this plan to shoot somebody, to snipe somebody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is all about. So bring in Jack Reacher, who is like a know-it-all. He's got a military background and he's very intelligent and he can handle himself physically. He comes in and there's really not even any major explanation as to why he's even there. He's just the man for the job. And that's kind of cool. I kind of accept that. It kind of adds to the character. And while this movie isn't like a full-on action movie, it makes me feel like, whoa, this is not exactly what I expected. I mean, the movie is actually kind of slow. But when I mean slow, I don't mean that it's boring. I mean that there's just not a whole lot of action in it. There's two small fights, a car chase, and then a final climactic battle at the end. But none of those action sequences are spectacular in any way. Like I said before, this movie plays out more like a mystery, and with mysteries, it's about story development. Because we want to know about all the new developments to uncovering the major plot. And that's what keeps this movie engaging. It's really not for someone who's expecting a lot of action, because that is not what this movie is all about. In a way, I'd call it an urban whodunit movie. There's a lot of talking in it, there's a lot of story development, and it definitely makes you think. There are a lot of puzzles that you're trying to piece together. And I think for a movie that doesn't focus a lot on the action, I think that's kind of cool. The character of Jack Reacher, played by Tom Cruise, is what drives the movie. I like the chemistry that Jack Reacher has with Rosamund Pike's character. It brings about a different kind of character, because we're so used to Tom Cruise playing characters like Maverick and Ethan Hunt and all these hotshot type of characters. Jack Reacher is also a hotshot type of character, but something about him in that movie just makes him a little more fun to watch. But make no mistake about it, this character was molded for Tom Cruise, and that's why he plays this part so well. As for the direction in this movie, I gotta say that I like the direction. We've been exposed to all kinds of over-the-top flashy action movies, and this feels just a little bit more contemporary. The action is clean, it's easy to follow, it's not overly unrealistic and over-the-top. The hand-to-hand fight scenes are very subtle. They don't last a long time, and it doesn't look like it's over choreographed, and they're easy to see. The car chase isn't long and drawn out, there's not a whole lot of stunts involved. It kind of feels like your classic car chase from a 1970s car chase film, like let's say for example The French Connection. It feels kind of like that. And the final battle, you got your classic shootout sequence. And like I said before, it doesn't feel over the top either. I like what the director did in terms of bringing in a more classic kind of feel for the urban action film. Did I enjoy this film? Yeah, it's a good piece of entertainment, but it's not your average action film. I would say that while it was interesting and engaging to watch, it still needed a little bit more. There wasn't that much of a visually engaging aspect to it. It had a decent story, but it's one of those movies where if you're not following along too carefully, you're gonna lose the pieces of the puzzle. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this movie a 6.75 out of 10. Still a decent movie. Tom Cruise is doing what he's used to doing. This role is not much of a stretch for him, but he's still fun to watch. Check it out on an afternoon matinee or a cheap movie night. And there you have it. Stay tuned for my next review. Tonight I'm watching Django Unchained, so there's gonna be a review for that. And then after that, I'm gonna do my top 10 movies of 2012 list. You're not gonna wanna miss that. As always, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. He took on blaxploitation in Jackie Brown. He took on the crime genre with Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. War with Inglourious Bastards, the Kung Fu genre.